or should we have to wait?
There are folks standing out. Maybe I'll just get them in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Start, right?
We
We'll
can
get them in.
start.
So yeah, we'll start.
Can get them.
So we are starting. So if you guys can, we are starting. Sonia, lane जा प्रवीण, बारी निकाल दो बस. We are starting. हाँ, and रवाना कर दो, नितेश रवाना कर दो, best. लवीम रवाना कर दो ना.
Thank you for coming. We're just waiting a little bit. There are still some folks standing out there. So
Yeah, we'll start
is
now.
getting them.
Yes, can. Yeah, you can eat.
We
You
should
can
be
eat.
starting soon.
Where is John?
Sitting there.
Okay. Yeah, start.
Okay, start. Okay.
Live.
The chain is it good?
ऐसे ही बोल रहा हूँ.
Okay.
Recording.
Well, welcome everybody to CJUG for October 2025 meetup. Today we're being very thankful, first of all, that Discover is sponsoring us this beautiful location and also providing us with food. So thank you very much. And then we're going to also have a few expert speakers from Brazil. So first and foremost, Bruno, the Brazilian Java man. Some of you probably know him, right? And he's just amazing. And then when I spoke with him, because he's doing a USA tour, that was like just a few weeks ago, and I realized he would be here, so I asked him, and he said, "Oh, sure, I'll come." Then 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, he said, "I'm going to bring two of my friends too, so Luis and Tiago," which is nice, right? So anyway, they just got off the plane at O'Hare, so they're taking the blue line here, just so you know. He texted me, and so that's okay. So they will be here when it's their turn to speak, but right now we'll be starting without them first, and instead we're going to have Ankith. But before we start, we do a bit of intro and housekeeping, and also have John from Discover to say a few words too. First of all, some important announcement is that if you haven't already signed up with our Luma platform, please subscribe to that, and that's the link. And then, yeah, we have already retired, well, sort of retired the old site, meaning we're not using it. But right now, the Kotlin group has actually adopted us temporarily in case folks go there wanting to switch to us. But we are not using meetup.com actively anymore. And then today, if you are interested, we're going to have two JetBrains complimentary licenses too. If you're interested in entering into the raffles, please feel free to either sign up using the QR code or using the bit.ly link. Okay. And if you miss, I'll share that with you again. Yeah, I have a couple of things too, but I left them in the car. If I have time, I did just a couple of little things for raffling off too. If I have time, I'm gonna run and get those things. But it's nothing too fancy, but just little, water bottle and things like that. So yeah, I can raffle those off too. That's what I'm thinking. So. And reminder, please start using Luma, which I just mentioned. And then we also have our Chicago Tech Slack. If some of you are not already on that platform, there are just not just us, but all of the Chicago-based folks, the tech people, tech communities are on there. About 10, 11,000 people now. Then there's also the Java Off Heap, which is a podcast still being carried on by Freddie Gimay. He was the previous Freddie and also Bob Holland too, but Freddie has moved to Seattle from within Expedia. Anyway, he's continuing to do his podcast. So if you want to join, it's javaoffheap.com. They do some good stuff on there. And also we are on Mastodon and the Fediverse and Threads, and we are on Fuji.social. We also are sharing with you, if you are Kotlin folks too, they also are on Fuji as well. And then of course our Twitter handle or X, we're all still on there. And we are also on Discord if you want to join us, if you haven't already done so. And for today, we have a special room. I always name the room by the date, like year, month, and day, and then also like some tag keywords like today's Discover and Brazilian expert. So if for speakers that want to continue conversation, you can use this Discord room for specific conversations or any kind of conversations. So community info. So we are partnered with JetBrains, so we're community partner with them, and also with DefITJobs.us. They have job listings from international job postings as well. And also upcoming events. Next month, November, we're gonna on the 13th. We have confirmed with Michael Caducci. If you know him, he spoke at the No Club Just Stop. He's also known as the magician too. If you know, he's really fun. He would do some magic. That's his part-time gig too that he does. So he's really fun, and he's going to talk about microservices. But we'll get his abstract later when he's ready with that. And then we also have confirmed speakers from Oracle, Alina Urenko, the Ground VM advocate, and also Josie Kamal, the Oracle Java advocate. But both of them are based in Europe. So I'm just still trying to figure out if there's a good time. I may schedule a talk with them, and that will be like a lunch hour because over there they are 7 hours ahead of us. So and then we're still thinking if I'm so glad to see so many of you because we're still trying to see if it makes sense to do an unconference style of meetup. If you are, please let me know. It's just basically you come together as an open forum, we vote on a couple of topics and break into small groups to discuss too. It's kind of fun because everybody gets to be a speaker and share your ideas and things on any specific topics that we want to talk about. So that's that. And then conference info. By the No Fluff Just Stuff organization, they're doing an API Conf 2025 on December 1st through 3rd in Clearwater, Florida. So that's Opal Sense, and that's the URL if you're interested. And then they're offering early bird registration good through the end of this month, 1,425. But you can save $200 with Jug discount code, which is over there, API 25 Jug 2. And also there are group discounts too. So if you think your organization may be interested in going, please feel free. And even if you want more discount, maybe I can talk with the owner, Jay, to kind of negotiate too if you have a huge group of people going. So just let me know if you're interested. And if you're interested in speaking at CJUG, please submit your proposals to present@cjug.org. Or any questions you have, feel free to send email there. And for job seekers and recruiters, we have CJOB group on LinkedIn. So that's our LinkedIn group. You can search for us too. We are there. You can join us. And then some of the companies that are looking for people, they are also on that kind of channel or group too. So they may be posting jobs from time to time. And today, again, event host and sponsor is Discover. Thank you so much. And with John from Discover, the top architect, would like to say a few words.
Yeah, thanks, Mary. I'm John Point, software engineer at Discover. Been building applications, Java applications at Discover for over 20 years. Back when Java 1.4 was a really sweet, so if anyone runs that, probably had generics. But yeah, it's been a long ways to extend. We have a really strong Java development community at Discover. We recently started our own kind of internal user group. So I was really excited when we had the opportunity to host the Chicago Java here at our downtown office. Excited that take up too much of your time here because we have an exciting agenda. I'd like to introduce my colleague Ankith. He's going to start us off here, and hopefully the others will be here in time. So,
right. Yeah. And actually, we have a couple more slides while
sorry.
Kip is getting ready. No problem. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, John. And okay. And also, too, actually, before I do that, I have to apologize to Jerison Bain because he's he has a startup and he presented for us Invergence or Convergence, and he has a new product too, and he's interested in sponsoring us, but it's my fault I haven't got time yet to draft up all this stuff. So which we're gonna do. So very soon you'll be seeing that we're gonna have a sponsor, a gold sponsor from Convergence. So thank you very much again, Jerison. So just wanted to do a shout out at this point. Okay, and then the next thing is okay. And then we also have friends of CJUG. I always mention all of the worldwide Java community. We're all kind of friends. If you ever go to another city, look them up. But I want to do a special shout out to these groups and Atlanta Jug in Georgia, Boston Java User ACM Chapter of New England, Garden State Jug of New Jersey, Kansas City Jug, Missouri, and New York Java State, New York City. That's the oldest Java users group in the world. And then Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Portland Java Users Group in Oregon, and Virtual Java Users Group. So please check them out. They have been running events quite consistently these days. So. And then news, actually it's not news anymore, but we know Java 25 launched just last month. So just inviting you all, if you want to sign up, or kind of upgrade your systems or try it out. And there's also a link with that launch stream. It is on YouTube if you want to watch it too. It's got a lot of information, very informative information there. So. Oops, I don't know why this is so weird, but anyway, now it comes time to introduce our speaker. So from Discover, we have Ankith Jain, and he's an application engineer. He's also technically leading a team of developers and Discover. He has deep experience in distributed microservices, software design, full stack, cloud-based systems. He worked at financial companies too, quite a few. I look at as previously, such as Goldman Sachs and PayPal. And he has a master's degree from IIT. So that's Ankith, but I want to also introduce, the speakers that are coming. So from Brazil, we have Bruno Souza. Without too much introduction, everybody knows he's the Brazilian Java man. I don't know if he'll be wearing his Brazilian flag. That's what he likes to do when he goes everywhere. It's very cute. So anyway, so that's him, and he's a Java developer and open source evangelist at Suma Technologies in Brazil. He's well known globally with his deep passion in nurturing developer communities. And he started working with Java when Java was born in 1995. He was among the first group of Java evangelists at Sun Microsystems back then. So his deep experience with Java. He's also founder and organizer of SoJava, which is the largest and most active Java users group in the world, and with 20,000 members. Yeah, they're pretty amazing in Brazil, very active, that whole community. Okay, so that's Bruno. Then he's bringing along his friends, Luis Real, lead software engineer, and now I don't know it's Portuguese, but it's a funded. Some folks who know the Portuguese, you say it better than I do. That's an education admin systems in Brazil, so he's the lead engineer for that team. He has deep experience in Java, DevOps, AI, and leading high performing teams in Brazil. He's passionate too about developer community. He's one of the leaders at SoJava and also coordinator for the developer conference, TDC, which is a very big Brazilian conference. And I spoke there virtually. They had 23,000 virtually online attending a conference too. That's a pretty amazing conference. And Dev Converge Latam, the Latin America conference too. And then we also have one more speaker from Brazil, is Tiago Gonzaga. He's a staff engineering consultant at Alice by Actable in Brazil. He specializes in Java, cloud native architecture, DevOps, and platform reliability. He mentors and guides organizations through scaling challenges. He's passionate about bridging strategy and execution. He's a speaker and community builder and leader for Java Noroeste Jug, which is a branch of SoJava. So that tells you how big SoJava is. They spread out in Sao Paulo area as well. So yeah, so with that, I will have the stage now give to Ankith. Yes. So welcome, Ken. Thank you.
Thanks. Hello.
Thanks for letting me.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Hi, you guys can hear me? Nice, thanks. So today I'll be presenting a very interesting topic from code to clever, and there are a couple people meeting each other. From the technology side, I call Java meets GenAI and Spring AI. So this is me, Ankith Jain. I'm an application engineer at Discover. Been developing enterprise level software since 10 plus years. So quickly, let's go through agenda. I'll cover basic GenAI terminologies, which I'll be using throughout the presentation. And also we'll see how Ollama can help us to bring local models on our machine. And then, yeah, I'm telling local models on our own machine. And then you can interact with them. And introduction to Spring AI, which is a framework which helps to develop generative AI applications, the base language being Java. And we'll see a demo of building an application using Spring AI and Ollama with one of our choice of model. And we also will use a PDF and fed into using embedding model and fed into a vector store, and then we'll have some conversations with that PDF, which is done using concept of RAG. So with that being said, let me say why Spring AI, or why even this topic, or what motivated me to think about this topic and work on some projects. So back when we saw like ChatGPT came, it had like millions of downloads, and within 2 months it went like, very viral. So we all became a users of it. And then world evolved, and then my day-to-day job is developing applications, enterprise level applications. So this is where I sit, or most of us sit. So we have our applications, we have our data, but how do we make that as a bridge, right? How do we connect them? If at all there is a use case in future I want to connect. So this is the major gap which Spring AI connects both the applications with our own data with the generative AI models. And it does gives a lot of flexibilities, like your models are stateless. It is having capability of remembering the conversations and then feeding it back. So it solves many problems. And let's get into one by one of basic GenAI terminologies, and then we'll see in detail how this can help us in connecting the enterprise data and with the AI models. So I'll be using some of these basic terminologies, models. There are many models we know. For today, I'll be using chat model as our example. There are image model. Uh, so there are varieties of models, use cases you can pick if you're converting from audio to text or video and all those things. Prompts. So what is prompts? Prompts is something you have a copilot or a chat GPT or any application where you're sending your questions, right? So the basic simple language, you are just using human language to send into a model and then generate a better response or ask some more intelligent questions to it. Right? So that's where the prompts concept come. And tokens. So token, consider this as a currency. Why? Whatever we are communicating from the human language is converted back into tokens, and then those tokens are interpreted across the model. And then when we see the response back, the tokens are converted back to words. So that's what is happening inside the communication when the model is taking our user input. And we'll see embedding models can be converted. So the next concept is covering my next conversation, whatever. So embeddings. Embeddings is what it takes your human language words and then convert into a numerical uh, vectors, and then it feds to a vector store, right? You can use an embedding. There are varieties of embedding models. Spring AI supports those models, and then you can utilize and then fed the data in the numerical form so that whenever you are performing any RAG, then it can choose a distance between your application. Let's say you're talking about fish. I'm more interested to see what are the common sentences across the fish, right? Fish is in the lake, fish is in the pond, or my kids like go to aquarium, right? So those are all things it can check, and then it can do a distance between the words what we send, and then it can do a vector similarity search. Rather than our normal databases go with a strict word and then they search against it. But this is a very fun concept. It takes a user input, the human language, and it can draw conclusions based on the distance, and it can give us which is the relevant context, and it can use top 4 responses or top k responses. That's where RAG, and we'll see a live demo of it. Tool calling. Models are trained to certain data, right? After that, what if I want to give model my more context? How do I provide a tool which can, again, this concept can lead into MCP, but we are just for simplicity purposes, we are just focusing on RAG and a tool calling. I'm just giving an introduction where if you want to tell the model today's date, then it can have a add tool annotation in Spring AI, and then it can be smart enough to give you a today's date. I'll show you an example of this just to say that models are trained to attend certain date and they do not know what is happening later it. And then this is how you can make it more smarter using tools or tool calling or function calling. Overall, I'll be playing with Spring AI. This cute thing is Ollama, where we can download local large language models on our machine. OpenAI I'm using to do embeddings, and Docker I use to get my PostgreSQL with a PG vector which is a vector database for a combination of it. And then Gemma 3 is my large language model for our demo purposes today. So Ollama. What is Ollama? Ollama is a lightweight tool which allows us to run LLMs locally on our machine. And this is a website, and I just gave you a link there, and I'll discuss in detail. But why choose Ollama? Ollama is easy to set up. You can just go to the website, choose your model of your choice, click download, download the Ollama tool, and then you can go to any model of your choice and just use Ollama run and give the model name. Up, it is running on your machine. Easy for rapid prototyping, because I said you can bring that model, turn your Wi-Fi off in your machine, and still you are able to talk to that model. So that's how powerful it is. And easy privacy and security, because everything is in your machine. You're not sending any data out, or nobody's storing it. So I'll show how to get started with it. I said Gemma 3 is the model, which is like a Google's open source LLM series, which allows people to use on an open source mode that allows people to use. It has a context window of 128K tokens, or there are a variety of things. Why this is context window? It's at a certain point you're talking to a model, only certain information can be fed, right? Those are the tokens, what I was telling, that's the currency. And it's been trained at 4 billion trainable weights. More the trainable weights, what I have seen and read, is more your model is smart enough to contextualize the context what you're asking. With that being said, let's go to Ollama website. This is okay. I think I have to the show right. This is ollama.com. Click on download. If you have a local machine, you can do it. If not, you can try this later. We have the YouTube live recording going on also. Mac OS, Linux, Windows. I have Mac OS. I click on download. It is getting downloaded. And once it is downloaded, go to a terminal. I already have a Ollama model running, but let me bring you a new window. So once you have downloaded, just make Ollama version. Okay. So if you just type Ollama, you're gonna see what are the list of available commands. And yeah, Ollama dash dash version was the command which I want to use. And then you can see pull, push. As a developer, what I feel, it's more like a GitHub for me, because I write code, I commit and pull and push. So it gave me that kind of feel. And Ollama, let's see what are the models already I have brought in my machine. So I did Ollama list, and I have these many models downloaded on my machine, and you see the size is just 3.3 gigs. It's good for demo purposes. And that being said, the Ollama model is already running here with this command, and then I can say, hi, Ollama model. So this entire thing is, I brought the LLM on my machine, and I'm already having a chat with it. So that's that simple. Turn the Wi-Fi off, still it works. But I would not do that. I have other things running. So if that's clear, we did the Ollama setup demo. So this is what I've just put a list of commands, what I have felt like a cheat sheet. Like you download, you run, you list, you stop, and you remove a model if at all you have downloaded too many models on your machine. And I showed a command where you can see a list of commands if you want to do more. For today's demo purposes, we'll be using this basic workflow where we'll go in detail about how to start a Spring AI application. and we'll be using a chat client and a chat model, which is Gemma 3. And so that will show us how to develop a chat client and then how to develop a Spring GenAI application in very simplistic manner. And then to add more context and more exciting stuff, we'll load a PDF with Spring AI loaders to a vector store, and then we'll have conversation with it. And if you want to know what else Spring AI has, it has so many features, right? It is vector store, so that let's say as a developer today you are working on one of the database Oracle, and tomorrow you want to switch a database. All you do is minor configuration changes, right? Because you are more focusing on interface rather than implementation. So tomorrow, if you want to change anything, Spring AI has a flexibility where you can bring any vector store of your choice, model of your choice for varieties of use cases what you're solving, and then you can play around with it. To start, to get started with this project, so you can go to Spring Initializer and you can bring the dependencies. For our demo, okay. So this is where you can go to the Spring Initializer website and then start playing around and bring Ollama, and then you can play around with this. And then once you start getting the project done, for our demo purposes, I already have added a screenshot of these are the dependency I have. And then if we go to the build.gradle, we'll be able to see these dependencies. I would not add individually here, but on a screenshot I have given so that if you want to try this out later, feel free to try it out. Okay. With that being said, I have a quick question in the room. If you guys are technical, how many of you know or have implemented REST client or used a REST template? If you have done, please raise your hands. I have done it. I do it in my production apps. So if that you have done, I can confidently say you're already at par. So you're already at par in developing GenAI applications. How simple? Let's see it in the next slide. I have brought up a simple example. We saw conversating with a model when we were running from the terminal, but how do you do programmatically? Get mapping, we all know, we can expose a REST endpoint. Chat client is a Fluent API, which gives us a chainable action, and Spring AI is, with the configurations what you provide, it knows the model. The models what we have, the Ollama model what we are downloading, one of the model what we are downloading is Gemma 3, is also exposing a REST endpoint. So with that REST endpoint, Spring AI has the configuration, it knows how to bring which model is running in your machine, and then it can wire up everything with your model and then send an input and get the content out. So it's that simple. So I have warmed my application up and have done some chatting with it already. So I saved the time for the demo. So if you see, localhost 8080 is running with GenAI prompt, and I have given a prompt, hello LLM model from Spring AI. And it's telling, hello there, it's nice to meet you. I'm Gemma, a large language model. So this communication is now happening from the Spring AI application. So this is where the earlier context image, if you remember, your application, your data, and the GenAI model now have been integrated. So now, at least, okay, I have brought this, and then there are ways, like if you bring it up, there's a blocking call, right? And what if you want to see a context where a line by line approach is coming? So you can stream your responses. So if you want to stream your responses, you can have, let's see how this works, and then I will show from the code perspective how this is done. So I did a curl command to just call that endpoint. And then I think as this goes, we should see a line by line output. Okay. That's fine. So this response, what I'm giving is a non-blocking call, and I'll show from the code how did I achieve this. Yeah, the streaming response one, this endpoint. So with that being said, we are all interested in seeing the code. This is my chat controller. I brought the chat client, and my configurations are here. Okay, I think this is visible. So if you see, I have Ollama, which exposes a REST end client the HTTP API at 11434 port, and I have given the model of my choice. You can play around. You see, you are satisfied with this model response. No, I'm not. Let's bring the other model, and then you can have a chat, and then you can evaluate the model of your choice. And then, as I'm in the slide, I would also cover the embedding model setup, the vector store, it's been configured in my application YAML, and the build.gradle I was telling to bring all those dependencies. Coming back to the chat client, now I was talking about a streaming based response, right? So this is where I'm like giving flux, and if you guys are familiar with reactive style of programming, then you guys know what I'm talking about. So this will accept the request, and then the response is streamed. How you do a Copilot or Chat GPT, you see a line by line response. This is how we can achieve that. Okay, now I have a model. What do I make it more domain specific, right? I don't want the model to answer, if I'm like serving a model which is a tourist guide, I don't want that my application to talk about tax strategies. But I need to add a guardrail to it, because model is smart. Model is trained on so many data. How do I do that? Let's see an example first, and then I will show how did I add a guardrail. So I asked the model, explain tax loss harvesting strategies. I'm sure it is smart enough to give some strategies, but it is telling I can help with Chicago travel info only. So I gave a big system message. Hey, these are my rules. Follow these rules. If a user is asking out of this context, just say politely, I can help with Chicago travel info only. Because this is my chat bot, which can give me a plan to plan my trip to Chicago. And how do I achieve it? I added a system message, and then chat client is smart enough as a Fluent API, embed your responses, embed your chain of response to another line of object, and then it can give you a content. Okay, that's good. I also asked plan a trip to Paris, then it says no, I can help with Chicago travel info only. I said models are trained in different languages, so this request response asking in a Spanish language, and then I'm able to get a response out. We are all developers. I said tokens is the currency. How do I know what is the model running? How much detail I can get it from the chat model? This is the endpoint what we are interested, right? So this is the response what it got for a planet trip to Chicago. But if you see underline, there is a lot of metadata exposed here. There's a metadata of telling that this response came from this model and how many tokens I had usage, because every response you make with any of the proprietary models, they charge by tokens. And how did I get that going? I'm taking a response, like the response object of chat response, and chat response has the metadata what we are looking for. I hope this gives some clarity of developing a application which is a chat client, right? So with that being said, let's get into our more interesting topic of bringing a PDF and then having a chat with it. For that, I'm using RAG. As we see on a simple terminology, it is retrieval augmented generation. What we are doing is we are giving a prompt to a chat model that these are the list of things what I feel as a relevant documents. Out of this list of documents, provide me a smart rendered output. Think like that. Or if you want to bring your own enterprise privacy information or some security documents which you want to have it only on your side, how do you educate that model? Because model is trained on a global data. Model doesn't know who is speaking today now, right? Or what are the events happening in any of the community, right? If at all it's not publicly listed everywhere and it is not done SEO, and lot many things happen when you do an internet search. But if you, how do you get your own data? This is the concept which helps us. And this is a slide. This is a diagram. What it explains. So I showed I showed you a slide where offline where we are able to bring a data source. So this is the data source of your choice. You can bring many data sources, and there are so many readers out in Spring AI which can read your document and then read it. Have like 20. We have a 24 page of worth of document, which is again splitting it into chunks and then writing into a vector store. So this can be done by ETL on offline mode. You can make your vector store loaded with your data. For today, for our demo purposes, I have already loaded the data in our vector store. What happens in the runtime? I'm as an end user, I'm more interested in seeing a relevant output. So what happens when a user is giving a chat request? Uh, it is going to a vector store, performing a similarity search. Earlier I was talking about the distance concept, right? Based on the input, whatever we have given to a vector model, it measures the distance. And it gives me like top 4 documents, what is that retrieved, and then stuffs back to the chat model so that my prompt is been having the relevant documents here, and then my chat model is smart enough to get all the information context, and it's giving me a very good response. So that either you can bring your own data, which is not globally available, or it is your own proprietary data, you can bring it to the model and then have a conversation with it. So with that being said, I am showing you a live demo where I have loaded this travel guide. So we all travel and then we get so many guides about exploring a city, and this is one of my favorite city, and Chicago, and this is a big chunk of document which is 24 pages of worth of document. I don't want to read it. I want things to be done very smartly. So if you see, already I have, if you see my logs, it is processing 24 pages. It has done a splitting of the document into chunks, what the graph, like what the image we showed you. And then vector store is loaded with 42 documents. If you see this line, vector store is loaded with the 42 clean documents. Now this gives capability for my application. Whenever is a user prompting to that model, it knows to measure the distance. So let's see an example with the RAG. I ask, what are the free things to do in Chicago? Either you ask your friend when you're traveling here, or so many people call you, what are the things you do? You always say, go to Millennium Park, roam around a Grand Park, and explore some different museums or whatever you are interested in. So this is the distance for free things to do, and every information is being retrieved by the vector store, which is performing a similarity search and giving me a distance of 0.21 for this input request. And then similarly, it is giving me this much context. And this has been fed to the model. And as an end user, I'm interested in this response. It is telling, it is giving me a list of things to do. Again, I ask the model, plan me a 3-day Chicago itinerary near the loop with walk times and loop in CTA lines. So it is giving me do this in day 1, do this in day 2, and do this in day 3. All information is coming more from the PDF. Again, it is not giving a similar response. Let's see what another user might have done, and then let's see what is his itinerary plan. We don't want everyone to follow our model and do the same thing, right? So let's see how smart is it. I'm going to see the response now. So again, it is giving me different, again, options for day 1, day 2, day 3 for the same request. What are the relevant documents it fed in? I am doing a similarity search. I get these many documents with a distance of 0.24, 0.27, 0.28, and 0.2, like so many information. So this says my generative AI model that, okay, this much information I feel based on whatever user has added is more relevant to his conversation. And then now you can generate a meaningful response for him. How did I achieve it? So this is the code. Again, I'm using a command line runner. That means when I'm starting my application, this will load it on the runtime. So this is my PDF, which is this. It is reading by the paged PDF document reader. If you have different sources, there is a Tika reader library, you can bring it in. But as I have PDF, I kept it very simple, got the PDF to read it. And then I'm using a text splitter, and then it is splitting my document into different chunks. Okay, I have done it, cleaned it. I'm storing it in my vector store. Once this is done, my vector store has all the information. And then coming back, I'm using advisors. With every request coming in, I'm not performing similarity search. Spring AI is smart enough for me to take care by bringing the advisors. It also has an advisor to remember a chat memory, but for today's demo purposes, I am showing question answer advisors, which is taking the question from the user, and then it is smart enough to do a similarity search in the vector store and then provide us a response. So I'm just doing chat client, prompt, user, and stream and content. And rest everything, if I enable my controller with chat client and giving a default advisors, so then for every request what I'm getting, it is smart enough to give a Q&A kind of approach, and rest all the burden is handled by Spring AI. And I have used Docker. So I have a Docker compose file to bring my Spring, where is my Docker? So this is the PG vector running here. So that being said, again, I asked what is happening in Hong Kong. I'm sorry, but the provided text doesn't contain the information about what's happening in Hong Kong. So it is reading the document. It doesn't have much information about it. And then my model is giving me a relevant information. Think with this example, I would recommend, like, think many use cases, right? What many use cases can fit in at your own organization, and how this can inspire anyone to start a journey towards Gen AI. Because I've been developing a lot of applications with regular microservices and event-driven architecture with enterprise scale. But how do I make them smart? This is how you can bring those applications with this additional capabilities based on whatever the use case your organizations want to solve. And I have some more information. Okay, which model to choose, right? There are so many models out. Every week or every day you see so many models out. So there is LM Arena. I think this is from University of Berkeley, a leadership dashboard. I think a lot of community people talk about it, that, hey, our model is at LM Arena and it is getting so many votes. You can go to this website, have two models on a side by side, and have a chat and see which model is good, even before bringing into your machine, and see is it worth playing with this, right? So this is the website, and I'll just quickly click on this and then show you based on whatever problem you're solving, right? You are a guy who wants to take text and convert it into an image. You want to do image edits. There are so many possibilities here, and then you can choose what are the top models, and then you can see the votes and ranking. I'm almost done. So this is another graph which says Ollama is good, but it's good for local development and prototyping. And if you have a use case, I have seen VLLM is an open source library which is smart enough to optimize your models if at all you want to take a production grade application. So this is a graph, and then there is an article from Red Hat. I have marked the link here, so you can refer and read what exactly you want to do when you are really good enough and you have prototyped it. I feel very confident about this, and let's see what is the production scale, because everybody we deal at a very high level scale of users and enterprise scale, right? So this is where you'll have a library to play with. That being said, I have given all the useful resources what I have done, and the workshop code what I did is at this my GitHub repo, and I'm open for questions. And if you want to connect with me, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Thank you. I hope I have inspired many Java engineers to try it out on the GenAI space. That was my goal actually. Yeah. Yeah.
See the curls showing up in your one of the slides. Do you use it or just show them all? Curl, C-U-R.
Yeah, curl. Yeah, you can go to. I went to Postman.
Do you use it or not? Because I saw it.
Yes. So I have used it curl just to show a streaming based response. But let me see if that's working. So what if at all you want to know how to get a curl? So these are REST clients, right? So this, if you want, instead of Postman, you want to have a terminal based request response. You can copy that from Postman. You can copy that code snippet and you can have an interaction with an API. No, it's just a REST client call. You can make with this command and you can make a call. It's not downloading or uploading. It's a client where you can interact with your API. Yeah.
So in this example, you're just running this model on your local machine with your CPU. Right?
Yes.
So at what point, how large do the models get before you need to run on a GPU or?
Yeah. So if you go here,
Minor correction on that. The Mac will actually use the GPU. So Ollama will run on that GPU. But he's running it both. Yes. Yeah, the MacBook has a GPU.
yeah, definitely I would recommend to go with lesser GB. If you see here, I could have used a 17 gigs, right? Again, I want to hammer my machine with lot many spaces and lot many models. If you are prototyping, just better is to use a smaller version of the model, and then if you want more resources, then we all know how to scale it. I have a very simple MacBook Air, and I chose a 3.3 gig worth of memory space to be occupied.
In terms of Ollama's consumption locally, how does that work? How does it able to rectify? Because of course it's running locally. How does it able to rectify that this prompt or etc. takes this amount of tokens? Like the weights or the hierarchy of how much queries cost per token exactly?
So if you saw a response when I showed a chat model, right? So the metadata from the Spring AI, I was able to show that the complete request and response and what model was integrated with Spring AI and how many tokens it took in total. So the Spring AI gives that metadata. If at all you are asking that piece. Yeah.
The token cost of that token. So tokens is a concept of how it's
The metadata it showed like the cost of the token. I think you showed it in your.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I think I'm the slide mode. Sorry. Let me shut the slide mode. Yeah, there is a chat response model. That's what I showed you, but I am just trying to get my end show.
Yeah, and that's just calling locally on your own machines.
For this inquiry, for this request, for this request. Yeah. It's
It's roughly saying that 14 hertz data.
yeah, and if at all there is another website I want to show that. Yeah, let me open AI token, and then I think I did not show Spring AI website. So for anyone to learn more about Spring AI, there is this website. So you can go here and learn more concepts. But
Yeah.
so if you want to learn more about the generative AI concepts relevant to our development, you can go here and then click on Gen AI, AI concepts, and then we'll get to know what is it. And tokens is here. So if at all you want to measure the tokens, you give the words, and then the embedding model like 1536 or anything, the list of words it adds to that embedding. So if you do a math, then it will go 1536. I can see the this that words math adds to that total, and then it gets into the model, and that's how it can able to connect with the distance.
Ankith, thanks for the presentation. I have a very quick one.
Yeah.
When you look at the metadata and you look at distance, that's like relevancy, right?
Yes.
Questions. Okay, so that's how you think of distance. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So you can go here and type Spring AI, and then it is giving me how many tokens and what are the characters. It is all local, so I'm not spending any money, so I'm okay to do as much context I want to talk.
When you were talking about similarity, we're seeing this in similarity, you're talking about cosine similarity. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one more question.
So at the beginning, you mentioned that you're using OpenAI for embedding.
Embedding, yeah.
So not using a local model on
I would have used, but I wanted to have an experience with OpenAI and get a token out, because it's just $5 and then put a token out, and then for other thing, for heavy lifting, I'm using an open model. Yeah, it's all chunking. I'm just chunking. Yeah. But if you want to know more about it, then what are the models it is supporting? Spring AI has a list of things, right? So if you want to see what are the embedding models, so I showed you chat models, and this is the list of embedding models what is supporting. So there are list of models what is supporting, and then you can pick your choice. Just because people talk so much about OpenAI, I just wanted to have a flavor and give my just get a understanding of it.
All good? All good? Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you.
And thanks, John and Mary, for
Thank
everything.
You.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Yeah, I can quickly introduce Bruno. Thank you. So we'll have our Brazilian expert from Brazil, obviously. And first we have Bruno Souza and Tiago Gonzaga and Luis Rial. So the three of them will be doing talks. But first, let me introduce Bruno, because some of you probably have met him or seen him or doing mentorship with him too. So, okay. And Tiago. Okay. So just to give a little explain, because Bruno, his format is going to be more like open Q&A, and because here the Discover they need to close the facility at 8:30. So what we'll do first is have Tiago present, and then on Java 25, which is very kindly, and then also have Luis Rial doing the refactoring talk. And after that, Bruno will do his, I think yours is dev career, right? A developer career talk, more interactive. So if we run out of time, we can all move downstairs to the lobby to continue too. So the order of appearance will change.
No, it's off.
So just thought I mentioned to you while Tiago is being set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you like to say
Yeah.
a few words to
Hey, fun. Good. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna be doing here. The goal here, at least for me and Dan, right, is to help you in your career, right? So our job is putting here and I want Thiago and Luis to pay attention here because they're going to speak to you. So let me understand who you are. Okay, that's fair? Good. So who here is still studying? You're not a professional yet. Okay, good, awesome, right? So who here is you have a position or you consider yourself a junior developer, right? Junior professional. Okay. Okay, a couple of people, all right, that's good. All right, so who here has a position or consider yourself a mid-level developer, right? Now, like 5 to 10 years of career, right? Okay, good. All right. So who here is a senior developer, senior professional? Right? That's good. If anyone consider yourself a post senior, beyond senior? Yeah, okay. That's good. Right? No, you raise your hand too, right? So because no one knows what beyond senior is. So what's your position you have?
Right now, I'm a founder.
Founder of a company. That's a very beyond senior position. That's very good. How about you? Yeah, here. All right.
Distinguished engineer, application engineering.
Okay, perfect. So he's a distinguished engineer, right? So those are positions beyond senior, right? Usually, I'm not sure, companies have a little bit different, right? But usually you have something like, you have a staff engineer, someone that's the same level as a manager. Yes. Then you can have a principal engineer, same level as a junior. Then you have a distinguished engineer, like our friend, at the same level as a vice president. Yeah, so I know. And then the guy is the founder, right? So that's the owner of the company. So possibilities to grow beyond scene, right? So think those are possibilities for you. Okay, so we're gonna discuss more about that. We have some gifts to give you guys, in the end. But right now, Thiago Gonzaga. Thiago is a Java group leader in a user group in the northwest part of São Paulo. This is São Paulo State in Brazil. And he's an international developer. He lives in Brazil working for US companies and has over 20 years of experience. Put your hands together with Thiago.
This one? Yeah. Hello? Hi. So thanks, Bruno, for the introduction. I'm glad to be here. Actually, this is my first international talk. I've been talking throughout events in Brazil, but this is actually my first in US and first actually internationally. So thanks for this privilege of being here. And today I'm going to talk about a brand new topic, actually, called Java 25. Just got released last month. Before we get started, is there anyone here already using Java 25? Raise your hands. No? Anyone considering migrating to Java 25? So? Okay, go. I hope after this talk, so you guys are motivated to migrate to Java 25, because actually this is a really interesting release, like in many years, I would say since Java 20 first. I think I see some guys are new. Some of them are already working for quite a time, and probably let me just forget to. And probably have heard this: Java is dead. Haven't you? A lot of blog posts, a lot of stuff on the internet saying Java is dead, and actually we keep hearing this like all the time. All the time. I just got like 4 events that happened that most of the people went on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and saying Java is dead. Remember, on Oracle acquired Sun in 2009, and all of the people said Java is dead because Oracle acquired Java, and then it means that no open source anymore and things like that. So Java is dead. Okay, Java is still here. Node was released also in 2009. Also, Java is dead. .NET Core, I think the first open source release from Microsoft, 2014, Java is dead. And the most recent one was Kotlin released, and Google announced that they were started using Kotlin as their primary language on Android, 2016, Java is dead again. But here's the thing, guys. According to Tech Republic research, 90% of Forbes 500 companies, they are using Java. That is not a small number. So it's a huge amount of companies. So the chances of you getting hired for a company who uses Java is quite high. Okay. Another thing is like Java is still in the top 4 of most popular languages according to TIOB index. I don't know. Have you ever heard about TIOB? Yeah. So yeah, they kept measuring languages over time. So I think it starts from early 2001, something like that, and then throughout all those years. And Java is still top 4. It was top 1 like for 8 or 7 years straight. Now it's top 4 because now we got behind Python, C++, and C# just because of the AI hype. Okay. So yeah. So this is one of the posts that Bruno did earlier this year. It was on Java 1. I don't know if you guys know this guy, Paul Baker, software engineer from Netflix. So he went on stage at Java 1 and said that everything we build is built in Java. So Netflix runs on Java, basically. And then Bruno posted this one, and it got like over 1 million views, like tons of comments, like good and bad comments, of course. Yeah. So what does that mean? Java is still a really strong language. Even though in 2025, so Java is still a thing. Java is still trying to keep up with the most new technologies, AI. So where we have like LangChain4j, we have a lot of things happening into AI world in Java. So you just got a presentation about Spring AI. So Java is still a thing. Yeah. So this is one of the things that I say. So that means being dead. So what the heck, isn't it? Yeah. But okay, I think most of you guys came here just to see what's new, yeah, and why we want to migrate from Java 1 version to Java 25. So one of the most important things that we have here is Java 25 is an LTS version. It's a long support term. It's a long-term support version, which means that we'll get support all the way at least 10 years. We see that Java 8 is still supported by Oracle. And Java 8 was an LTS release, and then we have Java 11, and then Java 17, and Java 21st, and now we have Java 25th, which is also an LTS version. So migrating to an LTS version is always a good thing because you know that it will be supported for a really long time. Okay. It's new. Let's talk about things that is new. Not that much interesting, but it's always good to know. So I separate these ones first. So this is one of the things. Yeah. So starting on Java 25th, so we are not longer supporting x86 processors, 32 bits processors actually. So we are still supporting ARM 32 bits, but not x86 32 bits. So we're no longer supporting AMD or Intel 32 bits processors any longer. This is actually a good news because of the old technology on those processors, it was not allowing Java to evolve because ARM and the new processors, they have like a lot of technologies that keep up with AI technologies, neural engines, GPU, and things like that. So getting rid of 32 bits or on x86 allows us to progress even further, especially when we talk about vector API. I don't know, have you ever guys heard about a vector API in Java? Yeah, we can talk about a little bit about it later, but actually it's a feature which is in actually preview. And the idea of this is allow us to do mathematical calculation directly using registers in the processor, just like we're doing AI. So it will allow us to use Java for deep AI things. And this will allow us to move further and then allow to release the vector API sooner. Okay. And here we have like 4 things, not so important, but they're always good to know. So we have Shenandoah garbage collector. They just released now the generational Shenandoah, which means that it has a different way of treating young and older generation objects, and it's great for heap size over 100 gigs. So this is one of the thing. It's not default. So if you want to use it, it has to be enabled. Another thing is like the key derivation function API, which is a new standard for post-quantum protection. We know that quantum computing is getting more and more visible, and then we want to be ahead of time and get protected from hijackers and from crackers that want to break through the secure algorithms that we have nowadays. So this is a good step further on that direction. Another thing that is really interesting, which is the cooperative sampling in GFR. Do you guys use GFR for anything? Yeah? So for those who don't know, GFR, it's an observability tool that you can use for monitoring specific things on your JVM. So you're monitoring threads, you can get timing and things and performance things from your JVM. The problem is it needs to run in parallel with your application. So prior Java 25, we had an issue that sometimes, because you enable GFR on your application, it might crash depending on what you were using. So this cooperative sampling allows you to enable GFR without crashing. So you can rest assured that if you enable it, so it uses a cooperative mode, which allows your application and the GFR runs at the same time smoothly without crashing your application, which is really good. And another thing is now that the GFR allows you to trace methods timing, so you know how much time you spent on method calling. We will have CPU probably in the next release, but this is already final, so you can start tracing methods calls and the time you spent on the calls using GFR, which is something really good. So from that, let's talk about what is serious about Java 25. Java 25 introduces some serious changes that might help you, might help your company, might help you as a developer to go to do things better. So one of them is the AOT, command line ergonomics, and method profiling. So what does that mean? In Java 24, they introduced something that we probably might be familiar with, GraalVM, some native compilation procedures that is ahead of time. Okay, since Java 24, now you can go ahead of time with your classes using the JVM as well. It includes actually 2 steps for you to doing that. You have to train your JVM, so you need to run your application in a training mode, so it understands the most used classes, and then it generates a cache. So it's a 2-step process. And now it's a single step. So we got like up to 45% gain on app startup if you use this training. And you don't actually need to change your application at all. You just need to train your current application, your current jar file, generate the cache, and then rerun using the generated cache, and then you can get this performance boost. And this is real nice, isn't it? So just a quick overview. So we used to have 2 steps for training. Now just 1 step, AOT cache output. So it trains and creates the cache in a 1 single step. And this one, another huge thing, is compact object readers. So we know that we have an overhead when creating objects in Java. it normally used to take about 16 bytes every object, and sometimes they are not even used in total. So actually, we were wasting some capacity, some memory capacity on this overhead. So with compact headers, so now we can reduce up to. Oh, I just see that these slides are in Portuguese. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. But the idea is like to reduce to 6 bytes the object reader and reducing 22, actually reducing 22% the memory usage. And in terms of memory gains, about 12%. Sorry for this slide. So this is not enabled by default, so we have to enable using the VM options, use compact object readers. This is another one that you can run without even changing a single line of code. You just run your JVM, give it this with your already compiled jar file, and you can start running it out right away. You can start seeing the performance gains right away. So this is one thing really nice to try. So if you don't want to migrate yet, so you can try these two things in a POC, run it on Kubernetes or run on a VM that you can that you manage, a test VM or staging. It's good for testing. And then if you see the gains, so you can plan to do the migration. So this is one of the things that we can say that it's serious about this release. Things that makes us adopt Java 25. And what's fun? So I left the fun part to the end because these are the interesting things that just joined Java 25 that will make our lives easier, actually, as a developer. And one of them is flexible constructors. So we know that creating constructors requires, if you are calling a parent class using super or calling the class itself using this should be the first statement on your constructor. But now, with Java 25, you can call super or this at any time in your constructor. So it allows you to validate, for example, fields before you call super or before you call this. So this is really interesting. So, for example, this one I can create a simple validation test to make sure that name is not new or blank, and then we can call super, and then we can assign the value. So we can do it like now safer. This is a really nice thing on Java. Another thing, in Java 9, we introduced modules. So Java, you can modularize Java in a way that you can just use what you need. But by that time, you need to use one guy called module info Java for defining the modules. But now, although we still can have module info, now we can import those modules. And the good thing that when we are importing modules, so you can define like the imports, exports, and transitive dependencies. And your import module will respect that. So this can guarantee that you will only import what really means, what really needs. So we used to have like a list of imports. Now we can just use, for example, import module Java base, and we can have like basically the same thing without importing all the things. And I would say the most interesting thing, especially for us, which are starting and then want to write scripts or want to write quick files, quick single apps. Compact source files now allows you to create void main, to create a main method without boilerplate the entire class, without encapsulating in a class, which can make our life more or less the same what we do on structural programming. But the good thing is like now, especially for beginners, they can start learning Java and can start using Java right away without understanding the deep knowledge of object-oriented programming. So you can introduce first the language, and then you can introduce in the object programming after that. So it allows us to learn much faster. And this is what it likes. So we can definitely define constants. We can define global variables, and then we can use it in a void main. We can even define methods outside. And the good thing is that I don't even need to compile this file. I can name this file anything I want, .java, and then run Java and the name of the file. This will run without need using Java-C for compiling. We can run these simple files without compiling. It will get interpreted directly by the JVM. This is another cool thing. I know that I have a short time. I'm almost on that. And one last thing is like scoped values. I put this one in the fun part because actually this one is not actually useful right now. But it will be used when we introduce structure concurrencies, because this guy allows us to create data, immutable data that is shared between threads. And you can guarantee that if you use these guys, so your thing won't get overridden. This is one thing that we had in the past. Remember when you use thread locals? So the problem is that this guy is not immutable. So if we keep setting values by mistake here, this guy gets replaced, and then we lose the file. We lose the value here. Now, it keeps the state for each of our scope. So in the outer scope, so we have admin user, it will print admin. In the inner scope, it will be guest, it will print guest. If it goes back to the outer scope, it will print admin again, because it keeps the values among the scopes. And we have another features, the future features that are coming in probably the future releases. This one I forgot to translate it as well. But the most important one, stable values, which copes with scoped values for immutable values for a predictive concurrency. We have the structure concurrency if we want to break down tasks, and then we can control tasks in parallel when running concurrently. Primitives in pattern matching. Nowadays, it only supports classes starting probably in Java 26 or 27. We can use primitive directly in pattern matching. And the vector API is the high performance vector computation for parallel workloads, really good for AI. And as I mentioned, the GFR for CPU timing. We got this version for method and this for CPU. And that's what we get for the future. Okay, so I don't have much time, so this is the complete blog post if you want to go there and see all the features. I have the examples that you can run, pretty simple and easy. So thank you for coming. Here is my link tree, so you can get my email, my LinkedIn, my Twitter, and whenever you want to contact me. We have time for one question, actually. So, yeah.
So is JFrog like Datadog? I use Datadog to monitor my application. I didn't.
If you use GFR, we get a little bit more information, actually. So Datadog has an agent which runs alongside the JVM, and it gets a lot of information for you. If you enable GFR altogether with Datadog, you start getting a little bit more detailed information. So we start getting information like, as I mentioned, the CPU and the method, memory, and CPU usage, which you already get from Datadog, but you can get like the stack trace. This is one of the important things that we get from GFR that we don't get using Datadog, which is like you can see the trace of all your method calling. So you can see the hierarchy of the methods being called at a given point of time. So this is something that is really good. And now that we are also adding adding CPU as a preview. Also, you will get more information about the CPU itself. Nowadays, I think Datadog is able to get like information, like some information about the garbage collector and the CPU usage, but you don't have actually the CPU timing that your threads are consuming. And that's one information that we'll get probably in the next JVM, that you can get like the exact amount of time that your thread are spending on using the CPU itself. Okay. That? Okay, guys. So thank you very much. I'll be around if you wanna discuss. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt you. Hello, guys. Yeah, please introduce me.
Introduce.
Yeah, that one.
Thanks so much. Hey, hello. Okay, so the next speaker here is Luis Real. So Luis runs one of the Java. So Java is the Brazilian Java Use Society is one of the largest in the world. And so it runs in São Paulo. That's the only 5. So Java is the largest one. And Luis is also a university professor, and he's been helping especially junior developers with their careers, right? So with you, Luis, help put your hands together.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Yeah. So I'm very excited to be here tonight because this is my second talk abroad in person in English. So yeah, I'm very excited to be here. Is it better now? Maybe the microphone. Okay. So who here knows what is refactoring? Everybody does refactoring daily. Do you like to do refactoring? Do you like to do? Yeah. The others, not so much. Okay. 3 guys really like to do refactoring. So this maybe is not for you. It's too simple. It's for the other guys maybe. But yeah, my talk is refactor today, build faster tomorrow. Because when we have cleaner code, it's very easy for you to focus on the other things that you really like to do. So if you don't like to do refactoring, maybe you need to do refactoring so you can save time to do other things like new features or maybe experimenting on new technology. So I lost my slides. Okay. So let's start with a chaos checklist. Who here ever saw variables and methods with meaningless names? You see the method name and you don't have a clue what it does, okay? More than one responsibility in methods classes. That is classic, okay? Too many comments to explain the code. Okay, a pause here. Who likes to write comments? Yeah, I know people that really enjoy writing lots of comments in the code. Classes with more than 1,000 lines. No, never, right? Who here is a Java developer? No? Other languages like maybe Python? Yeah? C#? No? Which language do you use? No? Ruby? Okay. So we maybe have this problem whatever language, right? But it's very common that you see like Java classes with more than 1,000 lines. I can't say details, but I saw one classes with 11,000 lines one time. Yeah. Methods so large that they don't fit on the screen. Yeah. So do you like to use that monitor like ultra wide? But some people use that way, so you can fit the method in the entire screen, right? Yeah, I know some guys. Frequent use of copy and paste. We never do that, right? No. And changing a piece of code and discovering that it's duplicated in another method or class. Yes, the other day I had to fix a bug. I fixed it. It went to production, and 2 days after, 2 days, they had another problem, the same bug. And the guy from, what can I say, like the business side of the project, the people that are using the project, the product, they said, I thought you had fixed that bug, but I discovered that the same code was duplicated in other 5 classes. So now, whenever I fix a bug, I use lots of regex to find similar code and fix all the bugs in other classes. So if you are used to see all that kinds of things in your code, maybe you are the guy that deploys on Friday. So it gets more excited with all these cases, right? Okay, so you find a code that is very, very ugly, lots of code smells, and you want to know who was the guy responsible for that, and you discover that it was yourself. It is very common, again, to happen. But what is refactoring? So Martin Fowler says that refactoring is restructuring existing code without changing its observable behavior. So talking about behavior preservation, what is it? So preserve behavior for readable, sustainable code. No alteration of existing correctly functioning code if it's functioning correctly. That's important, because maybe if you're fixing a bug and you need to refactor that code where the bug is located, maybe it's not functioning. But the refactoring principle says that, the preservation principle actually, says that you don't want to alter the functionality, right? So refactoring phases using tests to prevent breakage. This is very important. When we are, I see that 3 people that really like to do refactoring, you know, when you like to do refactoring, you get a very long class and you want to refactor it entirely. And when you go to the test, nothing works anymore. So the principle says that you need to refactor in phases with tests to prevent it. So why refactoring? Now that we know what is refactoring, now that I see that lots of people here likes or needs to do refactoring every day, why refactoring? The first thing, to improve readability and maintainability. So it's very, it's easier to maintain, to fix other bugs if you refactor every day. If you get a clean code, it's very easy for you to understand what that code means, what it wants to do, so improve readability and maintainability. So it's easy to add new team members. When someone enters your team, I had some problems in the past because I had lots of new features to do and to deliver. And I didn't have the time to train the new guy. So if the code is easy to read, the new guy on the team will not ask you all the time, what this do, what is the purpose of this class, and stuff like that. But don't use comments to do that, okay? The code has to be clean enough for people understand what it does. So why refactoring? To reduce technical debt. What is technical debt? It's something that we do now that we need to correct in the future, or something we don't do now and you need to correct in the future, like we don't update a library right away, and then when you need to update the library, it's a version that is completely different and you need to change lots of codes. So that's technical debt. So if you reduce technical debt by doing refactoring, it allows you allows new tech to be implemented in an easier way. So to facilitate feature modifications, modernization, migration, of course, to improve performance. Have you heard that only by changing the JVM, like for example, from Java 23 to 24, you can get like 30% of performance. Yeah, a better performance. So in some cases. So yeah, refactoring is good for performance as well. And like to update Java versions. In the company that I'm working right now, we develop system for a big university in Brazil. And we have like big, extremely big academic systems there. Like we have 83 projects in Java right now. And lots of these projects are in Java 6, Java 7, Java 8. Somewhere Java are using Java 17 or 21. And now we're talking about 25, the new LTS version. But the problem is, if you have like lots of technical debts, like in this project that I'm talking to you, you can't update the Java version. It's very difficult to do that. So that's why refactoring is right? It's a good thing. So to free your time to focus on your features. So if you don't like, if you're not the three guys that really like to do refactoring, maybe you can do refactoring to free your time to focus on what you really like to do. Okay? So, and last but not least, when refactoring. So what it is, why and when. Why I create this slide? Because in my company, some developers were doing refactoring just to add lots of issues. Because the number of issues is something that we use to track the developer performance. So they are doing like small refactorings and creating lots of issues for that. So if it's not something that it's in your project, like we need to refactor, this is an issue, this is a task, you don't create lots of tasks for do this. You, when you are adding new features, you go there and you refactor. When you are fixing bugs, you refactor. When you make small adjustment, when you're adopting a new Java feature, then you go there and refactor, right? It's not new tasks. So we're talking lots about AI these days, right? And you can use AI to do refactoring. And the other day I saw this real case of using AI to refactoring, and the guy said, Cloud 4 just refactored my entire code base in one call, 25 tool invocations, 3,000 plus lines, new lines, 12 brand new files, modularized everything, broke up monoliths, that's what we need to do, cleaned up spaghetti, none of it worked, but boy, was it beautiful. So yeah. But yes, we can use AI. There are lots of good tools for that. I don't know if which IDE do you use, but like IntelliJ has good tools, VS Code as well, and you can use Claude as well. But don't ask the agentic mode to refactor your entire code base, please. So a disclaimer here, refactoring is a skill. So it's something that you need to acquire, and that requires time. But I try to bring here 10 simple ways of refactoring, 10 simple things that you can do right away, so you can put it into practice today. So, and refactoring does not require a lot of work. If you don't like refactoring, okay, but it's not a lot of work. You can think about legacy code and you think it's a lot of work, but no. You will see that once you acquire the skill, refactoring is natural. Whenever you start writing some code, you will remember the techniques, you will remember to write clean code, and it becomes natural, okay? So let's do it. I told you 10 simple techniques or principles. for refactoring. The first one, renaming methods. It was the first item on the chaos list, right? So renaming methods, it's very simple. But here is a real situation for my work. So sorry if I have some Portuguese words, but yeah, this method is like it's from a diploma system. So it's a filter for editions of some specific diploma, and you have like the type of the filter, the key that you're using to look for, to search that diploma specifically. But then you have DM. So I'm working in this project for at least 4 years, and I didn't know what was DM. So when you use like instead of the entire word, use just the first word, the first letter. Maybe when a new guy enter in your team, they will not know what DM refers to, right? So it's like manual diploma, and I found out later. So manual diploma, in Portuguese diploma manual, I just renamed the methods. So now anyone that knows this context will know what the method tried to do. But then I found out the other method. This was the original name. And yeah, I don't have a clue. Now I know that is a manual diploma, but that may be a date, and maior is like greater than that date. So I found out that that date was the date that the new system was alive in 2011. So whenever you try to find a diploma starting from this date, it searches in the new database. So in this case, I didn't knew how to rename the method. So I created a Java doc explaining what the methods was trying to do. Okay? So the second one, extract methods and classes. It's fundamental for creating components with new features. So to begin with, a problem. The problem is you have like a code fragment that can be grouped together, like that one. You have the name and the amount. You can extract in another method here. And you can reuse that method whenever you want to print the details of the account, right? The third one, introduce a new variable. So do you know what is a magic number? What is a magic number?
Have in the code, a value you have in the code that.
And you don't know what it means. So for example, you have like convert to hours, and you know that 3600 is the number of seconds within an hour, but maybe it's not okay. It's not a common knowledge. You have to think a little bit about it. So instead of using a magic number, you introduce a new variable that has a meaning, like this constant, seconds in hour. And whenever you need to use that same number, you use the constant. Okay? Again, it's too simple, but sometimes we forget to do this kind of thing because we know what the number means. You just use the number. But this happens with other things as well, not just numbers. Extract variable. We have a problem. You have an expression that's hard to understand. The solution, place the result of the expression in a new variable. For example, you have conditions inside an if statement. You have like age greater equals than 18, and male equals gender, and client equals category. So you can create a new variable that consolidates all of the conditions that you can consolidate, like is male client, male and client, and then the age can be other thing, another variable, another condition. Okay. 5. So pull-up field. Pull-up field is when we have like the same field here in classes, and you can use the same field in the superclass. So you don't need to have lots of methods. You don't need to declare the method in each of the classes. Okay, and the same happens in the 6th here, that is push down field. In this example, you have the superclass employee, and the other classes are salesman and engineer. And maybe the engineer, they don't receive like the tips or something like that, like get quota, like the salesman. The 7th one is use functional programming. Who here likes to use functional programming? You're using daily, yes? So if you use lambdas, if you use string, you're using functional programming in Java. Like lambda expressions, they enable functional programming in Java. And we have here 2 switches. The first one is a switch statement that is the most common switch template in Java, right? And we have a switch expression. Which one do you like more? Sometimes when you use functional programming, the code is not easier to understand, but sometimes it is. In this case, when you use optional, maybe it's harder to understand. Okay? No? You don't agree? Maybe yes, in some cases, maybe not. But yeah, so if you use functional programming whenever you need, whenever you can, this may be, you can refactor to have a cleaner code, a code that is easier to understand. And less lines, right? Less numbers of lines. And now to finish, I said that was 10, right? So the 8, 9, and 10 are not techniques, are principles. The first one is dry. Don't repeat yourself. Have you heard of this principle? It's very famous, quite famous. Is maybe the most important principle in the OOP, right? So don't repeat yourself. It means that every piece of knowledge or logic in your code should exist only in one place. So if you find yourself using copy and paste, like I said in the chaos list, that's sign that you're breaking the dry principle. So by following dry, your code becomes easier to maintain because you have the code in only one place, and when you need to update it or maybe fix some bugs, like I said in the beginning, you just need to fix in one place. Otherwise, you have like that Spider-Man meme from the multiverse. So I have a small example here, but sorry, some words are in Portuguese, but we have like the salary bonus and a calculation of the salary plus the bonus, and you print the information there. And this is classic when you're starting to use Java and you don't know about OOP and start like programming like procedural languages. But then you can extract methods, extract variables, and you reuse the code. The second principle of the 3 last ones are keep it simple, stupid. Have you heard of it? Yes, this is a very good principle. There is a gentle version that is keep it simple and straightforward. Okay, so in Portuguese in Brazil we have also a gentle version, but okay. It's a reminder that simple solutions are usually better than complex ones, and it's very easy. It's better if you have a simple code, if you need to maintain, if you need to fix some bugs. So don't over-engineer. Write code that's easy to read, understand, and maintain, not only for you, but for the others, for other team members as well, okay? And it's not the band, it's the principle, okay? And the last one, okay, we have some examples here. So it's why I need all of these lines of code just to check if the number is even. So I don't need the if and else. I don't need here, if you know the module, you don't need to return true, else return false. You just need to return the result of the module, right? So you can rewrite the same thing in a simpler way. And one question here. Which one of you use this kind of thing? It's like ternary, yeah? Do you like to use it? So there is a discussion, people from clean code. There are people that think this is not simple. There are people that think it is. I think depends on the size of your statement, right? Okay, so it depends, always. Another example of the KISS principle, when we need to work with code blocks like this, you have to write a string that is actually an SQL, JSON file, something like that. You needed to escape all the special characters. But with text blocks, you just need to write as it is, okay? So this is a feature that is on Java for quite some time. But maybe sometimes we forget to see the new features. Like we have Java 25 right now, and maybe you need to get sometimes to learn the new features and incorporate some of it in your refactoring, okay? So the last one is Yagni. You aren't gonna need it. So it means don't build something until it's actually needed. Lots of times we think we need something and we enter lots of to-dos in our code, right? That's not a good practice if you think about refactoring, if you think about Yagni. If it's a feature that you really need, maybe you just go there and create the feature. If it's not, if you don't need it right away, don't create a to-do. Talk with the project members so they can create the feature in the right time. So remove unnecessary comments. That's another thing. If you like to write lots of comments, right? Remove unnecessary comments. Use clear code and Javadoc instead. If your code is straightforward, if you read the code and you know it knows exactly what it's doing, you don't need to create lots of comments. Otherwise, you have this situation. You have a stop sign, another sign saying this is a stop sign. You don't need it. So think about that sign whenever you are writing a new comment in your code, okay? Okay, I have some examples here. This is another real code from my company. We have like this comment, use web services in the future. But then if you see the next line, graduação service, WS, web services. It's using web services. Someone changed the method and left it to do there. So that's why it's not good if you enter lots of codes. Okay, my time is up. So the last one here, so don't create to-dos. This guy created the method, but without implementing it. And the last one, the Javadoc. Javadoc is a good comment. If you create a Javadoc, it's a good practice. You just explain what it needs to be explained. Okay, so to conclude here, 2 statements. The first one, scout rule. Always leave the campground cleaner than you found it. The same principle applies to our code. Whenever you are fixing a bug or creating a new feature, try to refactor and leave a better code. It's from this Uncle Bob, from this book. And the last one is, any fool can write code that a computer can understand. Good programmers write code that humans can understand. Or maybe the AI can understand, and it can help you to refactor and not break all your code base. And Martin Fowler say that, and he has this book on refactoring. Okay, so thank you so much. If you have some questions, maybe 1 or 2 questions, Anyone? So while you ask me some questions, you can connect with me. And I have some good material on refactoring. If you want to go deeper in this subject, you can ping me on LinkedIn and I send you all the material that I have, okay? We have some AI material from Loiane, Bruno Borges, and yeah, that's it. Okay, thank you. No questions.
Good. Right on time.
Right on time.
They're just kind of, oh, okay. Yeah, sure. They're innocent. Nice. That's very good. Okay. Okay.
Okay, hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
This microphone is going up and down, right? So I'm gonna speak very loud, so then even if the microphone goes down, you can hear me. How about that? That's better? Yes. Okay. Good. And then I have this other microphone here that goes online, right? Okay, very cool. So everyone online, thank you so much. I was watching online, and everything was working perfectly fine. All right. So we do have a couple of things. Are you gonna take a picture right now? Where's the other speaker? He left. No? The laptop's there. Yeah. All right. So he didn't leave. Okay. So when he shows up, we take a picture. Right? Okay. It's good. Right. Okay. And so, guys, this is what we're doing right now. We've been actually, maybe I should do it right here, right? This is what we're doing right now. We were in Orlando, and then we did Jacksonville. Now we're here in Chicago. We're going to go to Houston, and then we're going to go to Atlanta, and then we go back. The idea is to travel to be close to you, right? To actually have, so we can have some conversations. Yesterday in the Jacksonville Java group, we had some very, very interesting conversations because people are very afraid of, there's a couple of people in the Jacksonville user group that they don't have a job right now and they're trying to find a job. And is anyone here looking for a job right now? A couple of people. All right. So is it hard? Is it hard right now? Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's why I want to talk briefly with you. So I do have a few gifts for you guys. One has to do with this. I wrote this book here called The Developer Career Masterplan. I wrote with Heather Van Kura, the head of the JCP, the Java Community Process. So I'm going to give a gift to you guys related to this book in a minute. But one thing that I want to do is really quick. Is that working? Okay. So a friend of mine, Heinz Kibbutz, Java champion, right? So he runs the Java Specialist newsletters. Anyone here follows the Java Specialist newsletter? Oh man, you're missing out. You are missing out. So just 2 people. So go search for Java Specialist and go subscribe. Heinz has an amazing content, and he wrote over 300, almost 400 editions already. So a lot of great content. But Heinz Kibbutz, that's what Heinz Kibbutz. You're a founder of a company, right? So Heinz, when you get to that level, that you are the owner of your own company. Heinz says about him that he is unemployed and unemployable, right? Because no one is going to hire him. No one is going to pay him to do what he wants to do, because that's what he just works on the things that he wants. And so I'm just going to put here so I can see the timer. All right. So, and Heinz says, that's what he said in my mentorship group the other day. And I think it's very interesting, right? Because a lot of times we believe that for us to be the experts, we have to know everything. We have to be the guy that knows more, right? So she's like, yes, we do, right? No, we don't, right? So here's how we become an expert. If you position yourself as the expert, if people think about you when they need you, right? You get called to work on the most complicated problems. And when you do work on the most complicated problems, that's when you become the expert, right? So don't be afraid. Oh, that you are. Come on, let's take a picture. I told everyone that when you showed up, we're going to take a picture. So, Thiago, come on. Let's take a picture with Heinz Kabuts in the back. How about that? Yeah, no, that's okay. It's not, we're not going to change laptops right now. Yeah, forget about it. Yes, just yeah, don't try. Just leave Heinz Kabuts in the back. That's great. That's great. One of the top Java champions, he's going to be in the back of us. That's perfect. All right, come on, Thiago, Luis. Come on, you come here too. Yes, let's go.
John.
And Mary, come on.
Yeah, Abhishek.
And Chan, that's doing the video. Come here. Come on. Who's going to take a picture? Yes. Organizers, right? Good. Awesome. Sponsors, organizers, audience. Come everyone. All right, maybe. Yeah. All right. Okay. So yeah. So it's all of these because I don't have any time to talk to you, right? That's Mary's idea, right? Yes. You know. Yeah. Chicago. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Have one to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Everybody too should be in the picture too. Should we take one picture?
Do you want to bring everyone here? So you really don't want me to talk? Come on, guys, everyone here. Come on. Let's go. Let's do it. Oh, a selfie. Let's do a selfie. Let's do a selfie. Okay. A selfie is easy. All right. Okay. Come on. Everyone, get up to be on the selfie.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Okay. If you don't see on the yeah, you fit in right there. Yeah. Good. Okay. Yes. All right. Yeah, Chicago. All right.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. So Mary also wanted to take piece of my presentation to the raffle. Right? So do you guys want to be part of the raffle? Right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a gift. Right? So everyone's going to get at least one gift from me. So then if you miss the raffle, that's okay. Right? Is that good? All right. So so that's what and so what do we mean position yourself as an expert? You know, position yourself as an expert is for you to have a reputation. Okay? Reputation is what people believe about you. Make sense? So if people believe something about you, you have a reputation. If they don't believe anything about you, do you have a reputation? You still have a reputation. It's just not one that you control, right? They still think something about you. Yeah, that's the guy that doesn't say anything, right? Yeah, that's the guy that doesn't do anything, right? So then you know they think something about you. Make sense, right? So we have to. The way for us to do this is that we have to control, not control. There's no control. We can influence our reputation, and for that, I built a formula for that, to make it very easy for you guys to build a reputation, right? So I call this the reputation formula. It's career reputation, right? It's not any reputation. There's other types of reputation in your life that is not necessarily career, and so I'm not saying that my formula is going to work for everything, right? But for career, it works very, very well. And so it's a formula. So there's things that you need to increase your reputation. And there are things you need to decrease to increase your reputation. Make sense? And it's very, very simple, right? So because I don't have time, you're just going to have like 2 seconds to memorize it, okay? Very, very simple. It's Fivasco divided by under, right? Come on, it's simple, no? All right, so people said, Bruno, no, it's not time to take a picture. I'll tell you when it's time to take a picture. There's a place to take pictures perfect. All right, so then people said it was too complicated. So then I said, okay, I'm going to reorder the letters a little bit to make it simpler. And then I did this here. His version, I cannot say it. So then I said, okay, so how about if I change the words, right? I'm going to change the words, and then I did this here. Reputation. Okay, so now it's easy for you to memorize, right? So here's a reputation formula. You know, you have to increase responsibility, increase expertise, increase focus, purpose, increase upliftness, where you bring other people with you. You know, you become a giver. You take action. You gain autonomy. You know, a guy like him, that's a vice, distinguished engineers, a vice president, a guy like him, that's the founder of the company, they have a lot of autonomy. There's not people telling them, oh, now you have to fix this bug. They know what they need to do. They do what's important for the company, right? Autonomy and trust. And trust is an interesting thing because trust requires visibility. Reputation is what people believe about you, and if you're not visible, if they don't know who you are, if they never seen you, if they don't, they don't believe anything about you, so you have no reputation, right? So that's trust requires visibility. And of course, you have to stop being an I person, me. You all know this guy, right? Everyone knows a person like this that you cannot talk with them because it's, oh, I did this, I did that, yes, I, and you just want to run away, right? So, you don't want to be that person, right? Don't lie. Always say the truth, or at least don't lie, okay? And don't be a difficult negative person, right? This is okay. So that's the reputational formula, and I told you guys that I'm going to give you a gift. So how about if I start with the reputational formula so you take home? How about that, right? So okay. So someone's going to help me out there, right? So yes. So so that's the reputational formula, right? So yes, Luis is going to give some here. Yes. Okay, you're going to give some here. Okay, good. All right. So this is a nice sticker. It looks very beautiful in your laptop, right? So like in my laptop here, looks very good in laptop, but it was made to be on the size of your cell phone. So you can stick here and never forget. So every single day you do a little bit to build a reputation. Okay? Make sense? All right. And see, okay, so I have one more gift for you guys in a minute, but so. And when I talk about reputation, I'm going to skip some slides here. But when I talk about reputation, people think about, but Bruno, does that work, right? And so here's my secret. My secret to reputation is 3 things. 1, having a focus on a technology. My case is Java, right? But it could be anything else, right? Having a focus on a technology helps a lot. The second thing is community. Something like the Chicago Java User Group. Who here helps out in the Chicago Java User Groups? Yes, there's a few people here. So thank you everyone for doing this, right? And all of you guys, I can guarantee that Chicago Java User Group needs help, right? I was talking to the guys on a call while I was getting here. I was on a call with the leader from the Jacksonville Java User Group and the leader from the Houston Java User Group, and they're both saying, man, we need more help. Right, so if you participate in communities, it's a great way for you to build a reputation, right? And the third thing about building a reputation is open source, right? Participate in open source projects are also a great way to build a reputation. Make sense? So that's my secret. I'm not a Brazilian Java man. I built the Java, one of the largest Java user groups in the world. I built the Java user groups community. When we started Java user groups community, we were 10 Java user groups. And now we have almost 700 Java group leaders in the community, right? I participate. I'm on this. I have an executive. I'm on the seats of the executive committee of the Java community process. That's the organization that defines Java worldwide, right? For several times, I was a director on the open source initiative, the organization that defines open source worldwide. I was actually the guy that helped the open source initiative to become a members organization, right? So with all of that, right? Oh, I also help out create a mascot. Let me just introduce him to you guys to him really quick. I'll be back in the camera in a minute. So there's a time that Duke, the Java mascot, was trademarked. So Java groups could not use Duke, right? And because of that, we got together and we built Juggy, the Java finch, that little guy over there, and here he is. Hey guys, how you doing? So good. Yes, so good to be here with you. Hey Neri, how is Neri? Neri's not here. All right, so Juggy is the mascot for Java. Oh, Neri's right there. Hey Neri, hello. I see you right there. You're hiding from me, right? Good. So Java is groups, guys, is very, very important, okay? Juggy, you don't have time to speak. I know, so I'm going to go back. So put your hands together for Juggy. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right. So that's my second gift of the night. I'm going to give you Juggy. So you can have Juggy in your laptop. How about that, right? Okay. So yes, more. Okay, get some more here. All right, get here. Right, so get one here, one there. Where's Luis to help me out? He's over there. Come on. Help me out here. Oh, sorry, man. Okay, good. You put it right there. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so, and by doing this, by doing those things, by building reputation, right? Yes. Okay. So by building a reputation, I got very far, right? I work in some of the largest Java projects in Brazil. Some of them are some of the largest Java projects in the world, right? I participated in one project that every Brazilian has to use every year. Is the software that you submit your income tax, right? Thank you so much. Yeah, you can get one. Yeah. Okay. So, so just so you guys know, for that particular project, the pilot version, we had 7 million people using it, and it was a desktop application, right? So 7 million people using the desktop application. It's not easy, right? So and I did so many things in Java that this was last year at Java 1 when I got the award of the very first Lifetime Achievement Award on Java, right? There's only 5 people in the world that got that. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. There's only 5 people in the world that got that so far, and I was the first one, right? But I'm not telling you this just because, oh, I got an award, right? I'm just showing you that building a reputation makes all the difference, right? Because when you recognize it, you're the guy that gets the phone call, right? What do I mean get the phone call? Look, when someone needs you, right? We think that, oh, we're gonna apply for a job. I'm gonna apply to be, on my team. I wanna do something. But that's not how it works. When there is a problem inside the company, when there is a problem that I need to hire someone, we think, who can solve that? And we think, Harry. Harry's the guy that can solve that. So we call Harry. Hey, Harry, this is a very cool project here in the company. We're gonna do AI. Do you wanna participate? Yes. So he says yes, and then no one else has a chance. Right? That's how it happens every single time. Right? For jobs anytime inside the company. So if you want to be the guy that gets called, I have a 5-sentence that helps you out with that, right? So if, there's always an if there, right? If you share what you know, other people know what you know, and they trust you in what you know. And when they need what you know, they call you and not someone else. You want to be that guy. You want to be the guy that gets a phone call. One quick example. A mentee of mine, Ronaldo, I was just talking with him in the call that I told you guys a minute ago. And Ronaldo, in his company, he was doing something with AI, right? So what he did, he wrote a very comprehensive article about the things that they were doing. Right? And with all the details, all that. One article, not many articles, one article. Very comprehensible. And he did a presentation inside his company about the things that they were doing with AI. Right? And he shared the article to everyone. Exactly like Luis did here. Did a presentation, by the end say, hey, there's an article that you can take a look later. Actually, who did this is Thiago, not Luis. Yeah, Luis did that too. Okay, good. So that's what Ronaldo did. Not very sophisticated thing, just one thing inside his company. What happened? Everyone in his company now, and he doesn't work for a small company, his company has thousands of developers. So it's a large company. Now, everyone in his company associates him as the AI guy. So every AI project, he's the one that gets called. A couple of months ago, he called me and said, Bruno, the CTO called me, right, and wants me to participate in a project. And I said, that's great. And he said, my boss come to me and said, man, you are a celebrity inside here. Everyone calls you, the CTO calls you directly, doesn't even talk to me anymore. Now, here's the question that Ronaldo asked me. But Bruno, here's the problem. I'm a Java guy, and the project is in Python. Pay attention to this. I know nothing about Python. Why does the CTO calls me? I said, because you are the AI guy. Every single project is going to be called. So we think that we're going to get called because we are awesome in Python. No, you get called because people think about you. And the question is, let me get you, Ahari, already put you in the spot, right? Tell me a technology you don't know. Something you don't know. You never did anything with it. AI, right? Imagine you haven't done anything with AI. Imagine if your boss comes tomorrow to you and say, hey, Harry, we have this new AI project, and I trust you. I'm going to give it to you. Are you going to learn it? Yes. That's the thing, guys. If you get called and you get paid to do that, you will learn it. Right? Because I trust all of you guys. I know that you're responsible enough to just go and do it. And so if you are responsible enough to just go and do it, other people have to know that too. Because again, if they trust you and they know what you're doing, they'll call you and not someone else. And then you, Harry, get the chance to learn AI. Right? Make sense? So that's what we got to do, guys. That's why reputation is so important. Reputation is more important than your salary, is more important than your job, is more important than your house. Because reputation can get you all of these and even more. Okay? So with that, I have just a few more minutes, but I want to do two things. Oh, I said I was going to give you lots of grips, right? So this here is this book that I just told you guys about. And there's a laptop here. That's your laptop, right? I can leave it here, right? Or do you want it back? Okay, so, all right. So, so that's the book here, the Developer Career Master Plan. So this book I wrote with Heather Van Kura. She's the head of the JCP, one of the most important organizations in the software development world, right? So there's a lot of cool stuff here. There's 15 chapters here for you to help you improve your reputation. Now, that's not my book. I wrote it, but that's a packed book. So I cannot just give the book away, right? Or they're going to cut me as an author, right? So here I'm doing the second best thing that I can think of. I'm giving you the first chapter for free. So you come here, you download the first chapter for free. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to send you a little article that I wrote about each one of the chapters. So you get the best parts of the book for free. Is that reasonable? Right? So come here, get the book right now. Yes, and while you're getting the book, if you have any questions about reputation, about your career, about anything in terms of career, just raise your hand because I want to solve all your issues right now. That's a bold claim, but that's what I want to do. But you have to raise your hands because I'm not going to do magic.
Well, the founder asked for the.
Okay, so here. Okay, so all right, so here, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you out. I want you to think right now, for 1 second, what is the biggest career dream that you have? What do you want to achieve? Do you want to build your own company? Do you want to become a distinguished engineer? Do you want to get a huge salary? Do you want to work for interesting projects? What is your biggest career goal? Can you think about it? Do you have a big career goal? Do you have it? Do you have a great career goal? Yeah? Okay, cool. Now, here's the question I'm going to ask you. Why have you not achieved it yet? What prevents you from why you're not whatever you want to be right now? That's what I want to know. I want to know what prevents you from achieving it because I'm going to solve this right now. Maybe for like 4 people. No one wants to achieve their career goal. Is it that hard?
I've got.
Go ahead. You start then.
Okay. So,
Robert.
Yes, that is me. Yes.
Yes.
So balancing, I work on a variety of different like open source projects, but of course,
oh, very cool.
Have the day job,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, how would you say I would like to expand my work in open source and kind of focus on that more? How would I guess you balance your day job with open source contributions you want to do more and more of?
That's a great question. Time. How to get time to do things, right? So who has time problems here? Everyone, right? Okay. So here is the secret of having all the time in the world. Ready for it? You're going to hate me when I tell you this. Is that okay? But it's very simple. It's very simple. The secret of having all the time in the world, you get paid to do what you want. right? Like he is, right? As a founder of the company, you get paid to do your dream, right? So that's what you do. You put yourself in a position. So do you want to work more on open source? Get your company to participate on open source. So you get paid to work on open source, right? Do you want to expand to more projects? Find other companies that want to use you to work on open source so you get paid. That's what Otávio Santana does. Otávio Santana is a Java champion, and what he does is he works on the open source project that he wants. So what he does, he has several customers, like 5 customers, not lots, like 5 customers, and his customers pay him to work on open source projects, right? So you can do that, man. You can show your company the value of what you're doing and get paid to do what you want. And if you get paid to do what you want, you have all the time in the world. Make sense? All right, who's next? I don't have a lot of time, guys. Come on, go ahead. What do you mean a new engineer? Are you working already? Last month. Okay, cool, man. Awesome. That's very good. All right.
Senior level engineers, and they take up most of the more complex tasks that I would see as putting myself in the expert or in those tasks. How do I position myself to take those? And I know that the professional engineer did it just take a day, versus if I take on the task, it's now a week long where I'm versing with different people, and that's kind of like a confidence block for me.
So here's the thing. There's 2 moments in your career. They're very important. One is when you're a distinguished engineer or a founder, right? Because you have full autonomy, right? The second moment in your career that you have full autonomy is when you're beginning. You can do whatever you want. No one cares what you're doing anyway, right? Right? And so the goal is to be part of the solution. Get involved on the complex problems. You might not do everything. So for example, Mary's here is running the user group, right? So she's the head of the user group. Everyone thinks that Mary, when think about Chicago user group, thinks about Mary, right? But I can come here and help her out. I can come here and put the chair in the right place. I can come here and maybe bring the pizzas from downstairs up here, right? I can do small things, right? And if I do those things, I'm doing with Mary. And what happens if I do things with Mary? I learn, right? I learn. Now, here's the problem that you mentioned. We want to do the important stuff, right? We don't just want to be learning with someone doing it. We want to do the important stuff. Now, do you know who also wants to do the important stuff? He wants, right? He wants to do the important stuff. So if he wants to do the important stuff, will he give you the important stuff? No, because he can decide who's going to do what. So he was going to choose the important stuff for himself. So if you want to do the important stuff, you become the bother guy. That new guy doesn't know anything. He just want to do everything. So we got to be humble a little bit. You know what I call this? And I call this in the book. I call washing dishes. Right? We got to be the person that washes dishes. If someone comes to your house and say, you know what? I want to improve your life. I think that your kids have such a small room, so let's move the kids' room to the living room and the living room to the kids' room. So what do you do if someone does that to you?
Crazy.
You kick him out of your house. I don't want you here. Get out of here, man. So if you come to my house and you want to do the important decisions, I'm going to kick you out. But if you come to my house and you say, how can I help? Let me go wash dishes. Washing dishes is something that everyone has to do, right? It's self-contained. The dirty dishes are right there. The sink is right there. The soap is right there. You wash, you put to the side. So you can do it. Washing dishes is one of those things that it has to be done. Someone has to do. If you come to my house and you do the dishes, it means that I don't have to do the dishes. And so what happens? I want you back. Right? And now you're doing things with me because you're doing things that we both benefit from. Make sense? So that's the same thing that you do in an open source project, that you do in a project in your company, right? You be the guy that's be helpful. So when I started my career, I would go to those fairs, right? In like, this big like Condex kind of thing, right? And I would go under the tables passing cables. No one wanted to do this, right? Because everyone's, at that time, everyone was wearing coat and tie, me included. And so I was the guy that would go under the tables to pass the cables, right? And that got me, everyone's like, Bruno, you should work in our company because you're so helpful. You are helping us out. And I always got the most interesting jobs. And because I got the most interesting jobs, I did the most interesting work. And because I did the most interesting work, I become the expert. Make sense? All right. How long do I have? 0 minutes. Come on. One more. Come on, go ahead.
Career a couple of years back, this level. But the questions that in the interview were asking about this level, then I started improving the other way. I started writing articles in Medium. Then I started writing articles in D-Zone. And then I started attending meetings like this. I even went to one in Amazon office 4 blocks down the street. And all these things I do, but still, I feel like I'm still at this level, but the questions that are being asked in the interview are this level. So, like, coping up is where I feel like...
Wait. So you're saying that because you start writing articles, there's more interesting things for you? They're asking more interesting questions?
Yeah.
It's awesome. Right? And so...
those things, we don't get much time.
Right. Okay, so here's the problem, right? If we get back here, everyone got the picture here? Can I get away from here? So if you get back here to the reputation formula, right? Here's the problem. Lack of purpose. Right? You want to do everything, so then when they ask questions, oh, I have to learn this new thing. So if you don't have a clear purpose for yourself, if you're just throwing things everywhere, then you're never going to get anywhere because no one's going to associate it with anything, right? And that's one problem that people have. Developers think that because I focus on, developers they don't have focus, they have FOMO. You guys know what FOMO is? FOMO is the fear of missing out, right? So, this, by the way, this works perfect in Portuguese because foco in Portuguese and FOMO is like one letter separate, right? But focus and FOMO doesn't work so well. But here's the problem. We think that because I'm an expert on something, I necessarily have to miss out on other things. But that is not true. Focus is not about what you know. It's about how people see you. Make sense? Here's the phone. What does your company do? Just one sentence. Change how software is delivered. Okay, very cool. Now, his focus is changing how software is delivered, right? Now, what he does is a bunch of things, right? But if he tells his customers, oh, yes, we do Kubernetes, and we do Java, and we do cloud, and we do this and this and that, what is the customer going to say? I don't know what you do. So what he does, he gets the main message and tells everyone, we change how to deliver software, right? And then behind the scenes, he learns anything he wants to learn. But everyone associates him with one thing. Make sense? That's what you need. Because if you are associated with one thing, then everything you need to learn, you will learn because you're gonna improve how you associate it. Make sense? All right. So I think that's all I have time before Mary kicked me out here, right? Mary's desperate to kick me. Mary, yes, Mary does not want to kick me out, right? So here's one thing. Who here is a professional developer with over 10, 15 years of career or more? All right. So some of you guys here, right? That's the people I work with, right? So if you guys are raising a hand right now, if there's something in your career that you do not know how to do, that you would like to discuss, one thing that I do with my customers, right, is that I run like a one-on-one session about career, right? And so if you guys want to do a session like this, I'm offering to you because Mary's such an amazing person. She helps me so much that I'm going to offer to you guys this, right? So, Bruno, but I don't have 10, 15 years of career, right? So, can I do this? Louis is going to run those sessions if you're not that, because what I do is get those 10, 15 years of career and make you grow even faster. Right? So if you want to do that with me, just come here. I'm going to give you my calendar so you guys can schedule a conversation with me, right? And if you don't have this level of career, you can go talk with Luis and he's going to schedule a conversation with you guys. Okay? Make sense? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
To do raffle real fast now. I think.
Raffle is really fast.
Yeah.
QR code didn't work for the QR rates. It didn't work.
Oh, it didn't work.
So did you get anybody in there?
Oh, I couldn't check because I don't have internet, right? I was trying to connect, I couldn't do it on my phone.
It didn't work for any of us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did not work for anyone? All right, so let's ask a question.
Yeah.
Let's ask a question.
You know what we'll do is if you can go to wheelofnames.com.
Yeah.
And then if you want, give your name over to Ankith. And then basically wheelofnames.com. Yeah.
Yes, number is better. Number is better. So look, if you want to win, so you already got a sticker for the reputation formula. You got a sticker for Juggy. You got a free book, right? Now you're gonna get IntelliJ license. If you want IntelliJ license, you say a number. Okay? We're gonna start with you. You're gonna be 1. Okay, 1. 2. 4. No, 3, man. No, if you don't, just a second. If you don't want, I'm gonna skip you. 4. No, 3. 4. 5. 6.
Sorry.
Pass. Okay. 12.
13.
No. Pass. 14. 15. You pass. You already have IntelliJ license, right? You already have IntelliJ license. Yeah. So okay. 15. So you want a 15, right? Oh, 16. 16. 17. Pass. 17. Okay. Go ahead. 1 to 17.
You have a book. Is that right? You have a book. And we have 2 raffles for IntelliJ licenses.
No, the book already gave to everyone.
Oh, you gave. Okay, so
yes, everyone already has it.
And then 3 water bottles. So 5 drawings. Yeah, that's what we will draw 5 names.
5 names.
Yeah.
5 numbers.
How many people we have?
Start with the 2.
17.
So I'll be the 80.
You're a speaker. You cannot be. You skip.
So we have 17.
17.
17.
Yeah.
17 number.
So I'll
okay.
generate now.
Yeah, you can generate like 5 different numbers.
15.
Yeah.
15. Who's 15? Yes, go ahead. Okay, come here.
So you can come here.
Come here, right. So yeah, woo!
Yeah, 10. 10. Yeah.
10. Come on, 10. Come here. 10.
6.
Yeah. Number 6. Come on, number 6.
4.
Number 4. 4, come on here. Number 4.
IntelliJ license? No, right? Okay, so you 2 get IntelliJ license.
We have one more or?
And then this.
One more. Is that it? How many?
You can each pick 1. Yeah.
Many big
Okay,
boxes.
one. Yeah.
Oh, dang it.
You also be interested. No? Or Oracle or AWS or something.
Yeah, get the license. He gets a $2,000 thing, right? They're getting the $15 thing.
8.
8. Who's number 8? Yes, 8. Good. All right. Okay.
2. I have more bottles to give away. I have too many at home, so I bring a little at a time. So to make it more than just 2 licenses, but I'll get John and Loka your licenses. I'll email to each one of you. I have your email. So yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Coming, and I've been waiting to get that license.
Yes. You got it. All right.
Okay.
So,
well, thank you all.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you again to Pawan.
Yes.
John left already and Ankith and
Thank you all. Sorry we have to shut down so quickly, but
all the speakers.
security.
So if